I taught them Sotho. I'm more comfortable with the black people. I do see a change. We need to come together and be a family together. Why lerato se bana batho ba bang? Why lerato?
Yeah, unbuckled discussion. Unbuckled discussion. This is unbuckled discussions. Unbuckled discussions. Unbuckled discussions. Unbuckled discussions. Welcome to unbuckled discussions. If you would like to support this channel, please subscribe, like, and check out my Patreon page. That's Unbuckled Discussions on Patreon. The information is in the description. Please enjoy my guest host in this one, Katlego. He's practically a brother to me. He can speak 6 languages, one of them being Sotho. How are you, Jessica?
I'm good in you. I'm Jessica.
Jessica Foster?
Jessica Foster.
Cheers. Is this your first podcast?
Yes, this is my very first one. Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome to Unbuckled Discussions. So the reason why I asked you is because you seem to be quite a unique South African. Like, do you feel like you're a unique South African, or do you feel like you're one and the same?
No, I think I'm very unique, especially with the different cultures that I was brought up in.
Yeah.
And the different languages that I know. I think I'm very unique.
Yeah. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Mamelodi.
Yeah.
In Pretoria, Pretoria, township. I grew up over there, did all my schooling over there.
In the township?
In the township straight,
yeah.
In Mamelodi East.
Okay. What were you living in? Like a house like this, or?
We were living in an organization. There were many. There was one long house connected to. They were connected to each other, like in an L shape, and we were all living there together as a community.
Yeah.
My parents were missionaries there in Mamelodi, and we had orphans there. We had AIDS patients over there, and we just were living together in community and spreading the good news.
And were you like one demographic? Was it all white people in that community?
It was just black people. We were the only white people.
Oh, okay.
It was just black people.
And you were there with your whole family?
I was there with my parents and my one brother.
Oh, okay. But you mentioned to me last night when we were talking that your brother, he doesn't seem to have that same connection with Black South Africa like you do.
Yes, with my brother, he went to stay in a township when he was already in high school. So he was already at in his teenage years where he was already not interested in company, whereas I moved there when I was like 8 years old. So I was still a kid then, and I just wanted to play, and I grew up in the streets playing till 8 o'clock at night with the kids, and that is how I got to know the language.
Were you ever teased as a kid for being the different one?
No. In fact, they accepted me very nicely into a community. I think because I came one with them. I just became that. I taught them English and they taught me Sotho. So I became family.
Yeah. That would have been awesome. I won't lie, I'm jealous. Because like I've always fantasized of speaking Zulu or Sotho, and as Katlego mentioned the other day, like if I wanted to, I would have. So obviously I didn't want to enough. But when I heard you speaking last night, I was like, wow, like I almost wish I had your childhood in a way, because like I've always felt more like, all South Africans are nice, the diversity is crazy, but I've always like wanted to be more part of Black South Africa. So I admire you for who you are, for being that diverse. But so did you, sorry, that went off in a little bit of a tangent, but we're not perfect yet. It's unbuckled discussion. So did you learn Sotho in Lesotho? Because you said you're from Lesotho though.
I grew up in Mamelodi, finished my schooling over there, and then I moved to Lesotho from there.
Yeah.
I stayed there in Lesotho for about 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Also a missionary there. I've been a missionary basically my whole life. And I stayed over there amongst the shepherds in a very isolated area. There's just shepherds over there.
Yeah, okay.
So I was there in Lesotho for about 7 years. Yeah.
And you ever go back? What?
I haven't been back for a long time. I left Lesotho in 2017, October. Yeah. And I haven't been back since.
And your parents are there though, right?
They are still over there, yeah.
And so, but like you're not interested to go, you keen to go visit them soon, or?
I do want to go visit them, but it's just a bit difficult with the time zone and with me working and try to fit everything in.
Yeah.
And I'm also working, so I have to try and accommodate both sides of it.
Can you explain what's their living situation there?
They stay in a shack, a shed, about 10 meters shed.
Yeah.
Their whole life is in that shed.
Yeah.
They got animals over there, cows, sheep, pigs, chickens, and they also got a vegetable garden. So they basically self-sustainable.
So they're disconnected from internet and stuff, right?
There's no network over there at all.
Yeah.
There's just no Wi-Fi. There's nothing.
It's a relaxing lifestyle.
It is. Sometimes it does get a bit lonely because you don't see other. You don't socialize at all.
Yeah.
So it's just at the moment it's just my dad and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
The shepherds are in the mountains, but they're not always around.
Yeah, they're walking constantly.
Yeah, they're always with the animals. So
Yeah.
it does get the sense of loneliness.
Yeah.
But you adapt to it and you just go with it.
And what language do your parents speak to each other?
They speak English to each other. I taught them Sotho when they moved to Lesotho.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
had to teach them Sotho because there's very few people who can speak English.
Yeah, they're not living in like a normal Western farmhouse, right?
Yeah, no,
They're
no.
living like more like a native Sotho life,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So like, but they were never they never wanted to learn Sotho before that, and especially living in Mamelodi.
They've always wanted to, but again, they hardly found the time.
Yeah.
They were busy.
And they were older as well. It's
It
harder.
made it difficult, yeah.
So you're unique in your family as well, right?
Yes, yes.
And are you accepted by you've got obviously a big family in South Africa, right?
I've got relatives, uncles and aunts. I am accepted, but there is still that division because I'm more comfortable with the black people than with them. So there is that kind of division, and they never accepted me for who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that makes it very difficult to actually go and visit them because they don't accept the black people.
Yeah.
They don't accept that I speak a black language. So yeah.
Lastly, because we're going to swap because Katlego is going to come on now. South Africa's, there's a lot of racial tension in South Africa at the moment.
Yes.
What's your viewpoint on where South Africa's going with the tension between black, white, Indian, colored? You know what I mean? Do you feel like it's improving? Do you feel like people's mentality in general is improving?
I think with the younger generation, it is improving in that area. You'll find that there are more white kids playing with black kids.
Yeah.
There are more black kids playing with white kids compared to our generation. There was a separation. You're not allowed to play with a black kid.
Yeah.
A black person wasn't comfortable. It wasn't allowed to play with a white kid.
Yeah.
There was always that separation. But now with the new generation, the small kids growing up, I do see that there is a quite a large difference to when we grew up.
Yeah.
And so it is changing slowly. You still get those ones that are still in the apartheid mindset. It's
Black and white or just white?
black and white.
Yeah.
You'll find the whites that are totally racist, especially the Afrikaners. They
Yeah.
are totally racist towards the blacks. Then the blacks also hate the whites because of what the whites did to the blacks.
Yeah.
So,
Generalizing all the whites under one bracket and
Yeah.
vice versa.
but with this new generation coming up, I do see a change.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's hopeful because I'm optimistic that there is changing, but I'm hearing a lot of people telling me that it's not changing.
No, I do see. I notice there's a lot of kids mixing with the black kids.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And the Indians are coming in, the coloreds. I do notice.
Do you think it's necessary? Do you think South Africa needs more integration? A lot of people might argue the point that it needs to be segregated, that cultures run better if they're with their own kind. I've been told that a few times.
I don't believe that. For me, I don't see color.
Yeah.
You're a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You just happen to be white. He just happened to be black. But you're a human being. You function the same as a black person. Black person functions the same as you.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that. I think we need to come together and be a family together.
Yeah.
Despite the different cultures. The cultures just are from your forefathers.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't separate you from a black person.
Yeah.
We should just become a family.
I see. I hope so, man. I think a lot of people don't see it that way, unfortunately. I've spoken to a lot of South Africans, and this podcast will explore and talk to people with different opinions. But I hope that in 50 years that we've healed from all this hatred that just fuels other hatred. And lastly, and then I'll retire, even though I said that last time. What do you think about South Africa's political situation? Do you think it's improving? Do you think a second party will ever be voted in? Do you think the current party deserves their place?
Political side, I somehow don't think a second party will come in. ANC will always rule.
You think?
That's my opinion. Should they be in the position to rule? I don't think so. There's so much fraud and corruption going on at the moment, but that's political.
You're not an expert in that?
No.
Why do you think they'll always rule though?
People, I think it's got to do a lot of fear.
Yeah.
People, especially with the black people. There's so much fear. The ANC has so much power.
Yeah.
So much power. And I think they don't like any change. So the minute they vote for another party, I think it's fear for what's going to happen, what's next.
Yeah.
If someone else comes in,
Yeah.
what's the end line? What's the end story?
Yeah, they think that it's going to go back to apartheid maybe. Yeah, maybe, but like it has to be an opposition at some point. Otherwise, the government's just going to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, DA was coming up very strong against the ANC.
Now I think they've got,
But now,
to put it bluntly, I think in a black majority country, they've got too many white people.
Yeah.
So that just makes uneducated black people more scared of them
Yes.
because they just see white faces. They
and
think,
those are the only two parties that are strong when it
Yeah.
comes to voting.
yeah. What about the EFF?
Julius Malema.
You think he's got a chance?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. He's a character on its own.
He is. I always think he's the black Donald Trump.
yes,
His
that's
charisma,
true.
his communication.
That's
You know what
true,
I mean?
that's true.
But anyway, I'd love to talk to you longer, but we don't have much. But I'll pass it over to Katlego.
Jessica, what is that? Ya now we are looking at Katlego mo. Then na kanya ko sa dipotso niya na ko. O itse ke thoma ke kopana le wena ke maketso re khono bolela Sesotho monate so.
Ga se bolela monate jo ga se bolela.
And then ho kopana le batho ba tshwanang le Katlego so ore o sa tshwaneng le Katlego ebe a sa nahane ore o itse Setswana ebe maybe a o seba ho responda o mo responda ba.
How ba se ba ganna ne? Ke no how ba se ba ganna? Ke ona ga ke bolela Sesotho ka ba botse nna hantle why le rato se ba ka batho ba ba why le rato se ba ka batho ba ba o sheba ditaba tsa hao fe o sheba ditaba tsa batho ba.
So wena he ngwana ko hae o nahana hore ka lebaka la hore o hotse le batho ba bantsho and then family ya hao le makoa ene nke se biao o nahana hore nke o le motho le nyana ka je.
Ke nahane bjao mara ne ke sokola ho le ntse ke gola because ne ke rata batho ba bantsi fe so no na le nako gore no na le nako e re mo sekolong no na le magoa ba batla o be tshomyaka so ha ke ba le gore ha ke dule tropong ke dula in a location so you know abasa ya gore o be tshomyaka because ne ke dule location ke dule le batho ba bantsi so ne taba e botlhoko ya magoa ba batla be tshomyaka because ke ratana le batho ba bantsi.
So ka mantswe a mang ntwe batho e ba re apartheid le wena after Nelson Mandela after dilo tse tsotlhe tse le wena o experience it straight mara ka direction e nngwe pila.
Yeah, ke tla re bjao yeah.
And then maikutlo a hao ho no fitla ko hae no fitlo botsa batswadi hore no fitla o e nna mo wena hore na le motho o neng hore no kono confide mo yena.
Like na se kgona ke confide le batswadi ba because batswadi ba ka ba ntse ba phela ba le so tsotlhe tse ke di utlwileng makutlo a ka na se kgona le ke bolelle batho ke tlameile ke no go betsa ke tswela pele ka bophelo ba ka go betsa ke re hai
mara ke sure ntse o hotse le batho ba bantsi o itse polelo ya bona ho na le ba bang hape ne ba o gatella ore ba botlhe ne ba hotse
no le batho ba bang ba phapang ba teng batho ba phapang
yeah
le wena ho le motho motho o o na le batho ba bantsho ba o phaphelang
ke nnete
o bona so ke bophelo ntwe I know I stop ntwe ke bophelo batho ba batla go gatela batla go phapela ke bophelo jo
mara ha o lebeletse wena ka re o na le culture tse a ke no re tse two ka re o sesteraka wa ka mo bathong ba bantsho o sesteraka ka mo batho ba ba sweu ka mo angere so wena go utlwile le di conversation tse dintsi re ditse o feel comfortable thata ho na le ba mmala o wa ka ka le ba ka mo wena le hona be anong vele e sa le tatsi ba o feel yona na le
ke feel comfortable gagolo le batho ba bantsho because ke goletse le bona ka ba freestyle ka ba utlwisisa na ke batho ba ba
di dilo tsa bona
ntho engwe le engwe ka ba tsebe ke feel comfortable ka mo magoa ai o ga se kry-a ke le ka hara magoa ba 5 ga se kry
okay
o ga se kry o tla kry-a ba hara batho ba bantsho fela I gonna socialize with my friends. I go.
So dilo tsa o tshwana le bo di Thanksgiving dilo mamang ha o di tsene.
I get it. O tla kry man le batho ba ntse re hlaba khomonyana.
O re ngina.
Re hlaba khomo la. Oh. That's my Thanksgiving. I'm a chicken lava. I'm a turkey. I thought I was going
So when o sesteraka street is just the fella re khawana fela ka khala ne. No wait ke for yona le baka leo ne. Nna ke re go wena ke re big ups and re tlhoka batho ba bantsi ba ba tshwanang le wena ba etsang hore ntwe Mr Nelson Mandela ana ya bolela Rainbow Nation. Na bolela ka yona ntwe ya tshwana le yona and for that e be bia o etsa hore le nna self ke be comfortable he ke le around the way because ke o bona o le sister ka ke bone o le goa le leng o le goa in fact as o boletse wa re ba botle before color re thoma re le batho o you see and for lona le baka leo ke re go wena digas and ke a lebo ha di interview ya monate ke le wena o be le bushibo bo monate
Good.
Sharp. Thank you, guys.
Good.
That's unbuckled discussions.
You sure? Did I do good?
You did great. Cheers. Sorry about the audio quality on this one. A few times it's happened to me where I've plugged the audio jack in the wrong way around from the transmitter to the camera. It's a pity on this one because you can't hear Jessica 100% all the time, but you can still hear her most of the time.